Hare Krishna. We'll be reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 2, verse number 19. Hare Krishna. So, would anybody like to read this verse? 2.19. Hare Krishna. Okay, let me read this. य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारं यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतो नायं हन्ति न हन्यते. Neither he who thinks the living entity is a slayer, nor he who thinks it is slain, is in knowledge, for the self slays nor is slain. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this is a verse which is talking about Atma Tattva. Atma Tattva. So it is about the self, right? So it's about the living entity. It's about the knowledge of the living entity, right? Atma Tattva. So what is being said here is this. You know, here Arjuna's objection is that I'm going to be killing all my relatives, and because of which I have to undergo a lot of sinful reactions. That was his primary objection, that I don't want to kill because they're all my relatives. I don't want to kill them like that. Okay. Now, what Krishna is answering is that actually you're saying that you will kill somebody. Is saying that, Arjuna will kill the Kauravas, right? So this thought that I will kill somebody and somebody is killed, okay, is not in knowledge. It's I mean, in a spiritual knowledge, it's wrong. Spiritually, because spiritually there's no birth or there's no death for a soul at all. So when we say birth and death, right? So it is a birth and death of a body. It's not the birth and death of a soul. So when we say that somebody has taken birth, when we say that somebody has died, it's not in relationship with his soul. Okay, this is never a position. There's never a time that a soul can ever be born. There can never be a time when the soul will ever die. Okay, it's just the body that's changing. That's it. Okay, so it's just the karma. So when the karma is over, okay, it's when the karma begins for that body, it's called birth. And when the karma is finished for that body, it's called death. So if we see that somebody suddenly dies, okay, how do you understand that? Somebody dies, what we have to understand, it's not the soul which is dead here. Okay, the soul is always there. The soul has just transmigrated to another body. Okay, it's in another body right now. It is transmigrated. But the body, uh, there was a beginning and end for the karma, and when the karma started, we call it as birth. When the karma finished, we call it as death. So there's no possibility whatsoever to kill the soul. Body can be killed, body finished. Okay, body can be killed. But let us say if let's say Duryodhana hates Pandavas. Okay, uh, he wants that all the Pandavas be dead. Okay, maybe if he gets to know that, okay, they are not even the body, they are the soul. Okay, let me kill the soul also. Okay, it's not possible to kill the soul at all, because you cannot harm the soul with even sharp instruments. Even if you take a sharp instrument, or even if you burn the soul, or even if you put water on the soul, whatever astra, Brahmastra, also nuclear bomb, also if you put on the soul, now whatever physical process which is any extreme, taking the soul into the extreme heat of the sun or anything for that matter, will never touch the soul. It's because soul is completely spiritual. It cannot be touched by any material weapon or any material process, no matter how extreme it is. So when we say that somebody is dead, when we say that somebody is skilled, when we say that somebody is skilled, okay, so it's only in relationship with the body. So whatever punishments of the law are applicable for the body, for destroying the body, okay. But of course, it's very careful. We have to understand, okay, this can be taken out of context, right? We see a lot of religions, they take uh, religious textbooks out of context and they try to establish their own personal hatred, political motives, okay, for the sake of certain agenda. Now, somebody may try to hijack this verse, try to say that, see, it's written in Bhagavad Gita that, it's okay to kill. I mean, even if you kill, it's not killing it's at all, okay? So let me clarify this, okay? This verse is not meant for encouraging people to kill. I mean, it's not that, okay, we can use this verse and say, yeah, I mean, it's okay, we can kill somebody because Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita that, it's okay to kill, it's okay. It doesn't matter when killer or the killing, it's all just ignorance, okay? Real knowledge is that the soul is eternal. So that is true, that the knowledge is true, but when somebody unnecessarily commits violence towards any living entity, then they will be immediately subject to the law of the land. Right? Based on the law of the land, whether you are in which country, depending upon the country, depending upon their constitution, depending upon their laws, the punishment would be given. Okay, some countries can be, the punishment can be very severe as death punishment. Some of them can be lifelong imprisonment, or some can be much lighter. Okay, depends upon the country. It's a law of the land. Okay, so when we commit violence towards any other living entity, particularly human beings, there's definitely law of the land that comes into picture. And when we commit violence like that, what happens is that even the laws of the material nature, laws of the Lord, laws of God, laws of land and laws of God, both of them are applicable. Okay, laws of nature is laws of land is the court and the police and whatever action they want to take, all of that. And laws of material nature is the person who was killed will be given a chance to kill the person who has actually killed him, something like that, okay, in the next life. So every action has got equal and opposite reaction, so something like that. So uh, it's not a good idea to commit violence, because the Vedic injunction is ma himsyat sarva bhutani, never commit violence to anybody. Vedic injunction is saying never commit violence to anybody, okay, not to human beings, not to animals also. Unnecessarily, we should not cause violence. Kapila Bhagavan says that na atihimsena, devotional service has to be done by na atihimsena, means with minimum amount of violence, we'll have to manage our life. Minimum amount of violence, there must be some violence in our life. For example, if there is a snake which is coming to bite, if there are so many snakes in some place, we'll have to eliminate those snakes, for example. Or if there is somebody who is a serial killer going around, that person has to be neutralized. Or there's a terrorist going around, that person has to be killed. So this minimum violence, whatever is necessary, is allowed, but not that exorbitantly, which is not sanctioned as per the religious principles. Violence, even in the words, even in mind, even in thoughts, also it is wrong. Even we should not even think violently towards anybody, because everybody has Krishna in their hearts. Okay, everybody has super soul in their heart. Okay, every living entity is part and parcel of Krishna. So we should not be killing anybody, anybody, not only humans or any animal. That's the idea. Okay. So the idea that some people try to just establish and try to say that Vedas, okay, there's some violence. Okay, there's some people try to establish that, okay, the Vedas it is said that you can eat meat, you can eat flesh, all of that. It's wrong. Okay, it's wrong. So I mean, it's just taken out of context. That's it. I mean, the ultimate goal of Vedas is ahimsa or non-violence. Okay. So for those people who are not able to control their tongue, the Vedic injunction is that they can have meat by offering it to Kali or Durga um, on Amavasya, and they can have only once in a month. So there are some restrictions are there. The restrictions are also not an encouragement. It's not that okay, once in a month you just now you can kill all the animals. It's not like that. It's just to regulate. It's just to regulate for those people who are not able to control at all. It's a regulation. Okay. So for example, if government of India is putting a lot of taxes on uh, cigarettes and alcohol, it doesn't mean that they want to sell it. Okay, okay, that's debatable because some governments are actually running only on alcohol sales. That's a different story. But um, government as such wants to do good to people. They don't want people to have sickness, or they don't want families to be destroyed by alcohol and smoking and ill health. Obviously, similarly, the Vedas on a high level, they don't want any violence. Okay, it's not meant for violence. Okay, the sadhu means no violence, non-violence. But some amount of violence in a society is necessary for upkeeping the society, social order, for upkeeping dharma. So that violence license is given to the kshatriya. Okay, the kshatriya is kshatriyas. The kshatriyas are those people who are like the military or the police, military administrators. So for them, the license is given. And for example, there's an ATM security guard, bank security guard. There's a thief who's trying to enter. He cannot be saying, "Okay, I'm going to be non-violent now." All right. So for this kshatriya, it is allowed. Okay, not for the common man. But we have to understand that. Okay, because the principle of this violence also is only meant for protecting dharma, right? Ahimsa paramo dharma. The purpose of ultimately dharma has to be kept. Like the religious principles have to be kept. So that's what we have to understand here. Arjuna, he has been advised by Krishna to fight. Krishna is then it's a very contradictory, and we may be surprised. Bhagavad Gita is supposed to be non-violent, right? Why is this? I mean, the entire Bhagavad Gita is happening in a battlefield where millions of people have died. Okay, I would say the biggest, largest world war that ever happened. 18 Akshauhini Sena died. So what is going on? Is God just saying that we should violence is permitted? Okay, no, it's not like that. It's a war. Okay, wars are inevitable. So just like forest fire is inevitable in a forest. Okay, in forest, just by friction, by rubbing of two trees, some fire will come, spark will come. Similarly, when there are so many living entities, so many kings, so many administrations, a small friction will cause some kind of violence or some kind of disagreement between two parties. And the war is inevitable. War happens. Okay, it's been happening since immemorial, time immemorial. From all the yugas, the wars are always happening. They'll all keep happening. There's no time that war can ever stop. So war is going to happen. So as a part of the war, so the Vedas also acknowledge that, and they say as a part of the war, okay, violence is allowed, and in fact it is encouraged also. Okay, the kshatriyas are expected to fight valiantly. They're not expected to um, cowardly give up the fighting and come back, show their back and run away, or surrender. That is considered very shameful as per the Vedas. Okay, so to keep the social order as a part of the war for the protection of principles of religion, this is allowed, but not whimsically. Whimsically, it's not allowed. For example, if there's a person, if there is an army officer who has a gun, okay, who is provided by the government of India, the bullets are also given by the government of India. When he's shooting the enemies and he's killing the enemies, he's getting so many awards. But let us say he retires and he takes the same gun, or he gets some private gun and he shoots somebody else outside. He will not be getting an awards. Okay, he may have to go to jail if he does that. That is the reason. The difference is that, whatever is sanctioned by government, okay, for the principle of religion, that is, dharma, raja dharma, the government's law, that is allowed, that is encouraged. But not whimsical action is not encouraged. Similarly, we have the law of land, law of God, Krishna's laws. Krishna's laws also are there. We cannot whimsically act in Krishna's laws. If we act whimsically and if we disturb any lifetime of any animal also, that will have severe consequences on us. Okay, the same thing. It will be the animal will be given permission to kill and eat us in the next lifetime. So it's not a good idea. It's not a good thing to stop the natural evolution of any animal. Nor, what to talk about any human being. Just like the Ten Commandments says, "Thou shalt not kill." Kill means you should not kill anybody, not even humans, not even animals. Okay, but a lot of people try to misinterpret it and try to say that, okay, "Thou shalt not kill" only applies to humans, not for animals. So Prabhupada used to point this out and say, here in the Ten Commandments, it says, "Thou shalt not kill." Why are you people killing animals? You are maintaining slaughterhouses. Okay. Then they used to the church fathers used to say, no, it means for humans, it's not for animals. But Prabhupada used to ask, where is it written that it's for animals or humans? It says, "Thou shalt not kill." Right? Yeah. So that is a principle. The principle of religion is to be non-violent. Okay. But here, Krishna's encouragement of Arjuna, Krishna encouraging Arjuna to fight, is on the basis of knowledge for the protection of the principles of religion. And the principles of religion are laid out by God Himself. Okay, Krishna's dharmam to sakshat bhagavat pranito. Krishna gives these religious principles. So because it is his laws of the king will decide what should be the law. So this is the law of Krishna, law of God, that is decided. We have to follow it. Okay. This is about it. Neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it is slain is in knowledge. For the self slays, nor it is slain. Okay, Hare Krishna, everybody, Sanat Pranams. Thank you very much. Wait a minute. Oh, yes. Yes, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Pranams. Yes.
Hare Krishna
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
And,
Prabhuji.